Hello friends, Sara Gaston here. Listen, thank you so much for joining me. You may be wondering what's going on. Why is she wearing dangly earrings that clink, clink, clink and kind of a silky top? That's just not like the Sara that we know and love. I'll tell you why. Because it's the end of the year. We've got New Year's coming up, and I wanted to take you through a little end of year exercise. I like to do this ritual right before the end of the year every year to sort of clear out anything that is lingering from the previous year and set myself up for what I want to experience and create and enjoy in the next year to come. So I'm going to ask you to do something a little odd. I'm going to ask you to actually get a notebook and a pen, and you're probably going to want to stop and start this tape a little bit because I want you to actually sit down and do these exercises. I'm telling you, it's going to be so powerful for you, and it is really going to sort of clean up any sort of cobwebs you need to clean up about what was happening the previous year and get you a fresh start for the coming year. So the first question you want to address is it's basically like a decade in review. So I want you to write down, what are you most proud of having accomplished in the last 10 years? And you can always stop this tape, write it down, and then come back. In fact, that's what I would recommend. Fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to assume you did that. Welcome back. The next thing I want you to write down is, based on your list, what you saw. What is crystal clear to you now? What is sort of some wisdom that you've acquired when you look back over this list of the things that you've accomplished in the last 10 years? First of all, I think you'll be probably pretty surprised at how much you've actually done. And I think you'll be really, really pleased with yourself. And also, some patterns should be clear. You'll know what I mean once you do the exercise. Tony Robbins is really fond of saying, we overestimate what we can do in a year, but we underestimate what we can do in a decade. And sometimes it takes a while to get things going, but when we look back, we're like, holy cow, I've actually achieved quite a lot. Great. The next question that I want you to address is, what can I let go of? So there are things that we're always carrying around. It can be stuff from the past. It can be stuff from a recent experience. But there are things that for some reason we have not resolved in our own hearts and minds, right? So it may be something like you've been telling yourself forever that I need to get a voiceover demo. And then maybe you just need to let that go. Maybe you just come to the conclusion that, you know what, I really don't care about doing voiceover, or I don't really want to spend that money. I'm just not going to do that right now. Take it off your plate, write it down, say, you know what, I'm going to let go of this plan that I have to do a voiceover demo because it's just not helping me move forward, okay? I had that plan for many, many years, and then I always beat myself up over it because I didn't do it. Now, I finally done it, okay? But for a long time, it was just an idea, you know? And so think of things that you can let go of. Another thing could be, maybe you have bitter or hurt feelings because you didn't book a job, okay? Maybe you have a rival that seems to book more than you, and you can't let go of the jealousy and the envy of that person. Whatever it is, think long and hard about whatever it is that you can leave behind, because those things drag at us, right? Just like an anchor drags on a ship and slows it down until it eventually stops, those things act like an anchor. And I don't want you stuck in the harbor, baby. I want you out there sailing over the ocean blue. Okay, great. Why is it important what you want to let go of, okay? And that's really just the other piece of that question, which is, if I let go of it, what is possible for me, right? So if I let go of all the mental energy that it takes up thinking, you know, I need to get a demo reel, or I need to, you know, get an agent in another market, or whatever it is that is consuming you. The next thing I want you to look at is, why is it important to let go of whatever it is? For example, for me, with the voiceover example, which, like I said, I've handled now, thank you very much, I have my demo reel, my voiceover demo reel, you know, it was just taking up a lot of bandwidth. It was something that I wasn't really planning on. It was something that I wasn't saving the money for at the time. It was something that I just wasn't taking action around, and then I would make myself feel bad. I would make myself feel wrong, and I would beat myself up, and I just felt crummy about it. So it wasn't helpful to hang on to that, right? So by letting it go, it frees up space and mental energy to do something else, you know? So figure out why it's important to let whatever go. And I literally, you know, when the bell strikes midnight, I want you to release that. That's the past. It's gone. Fresh paper, fresh page. We're now moving forward. And last but not least, I want you to write down what's next for you. Now, I want to make a distinction because this is not the same as a New Year's resolution. A New Year's resolution, you know, there's a reason why most people don't keep them, right? They tend to be some sort of vague end result that we think we should want, right? You know, we should, you know, lose 5 pounds, or we should, you know, ask for a raise, or we should spend more time with our family. Actually, asking for a raise is a good one because that's real specific. Okay, scratch that one. We should spend more time with our family. We should spend more time with our friends, right? So that's not really, like, there's nothing wrong with those goals, but there's nothing actionable about them. And I don't know that they necessarily excite people for more than about a month, which is when people usually give up their New Year's resolutions, right? So rather, when you think about what's next, think about just what you want to experience, right? So maybe rather than I have to lose 10 pounds, because then it's like, okay, then you're bad if you don't lose 10 pounds, or you're going to feel crummy until you've met that goal. Maybe what you want to experience is energy and fitness and a feeling of being alive, right? That's probably going to motivate you to take some action around that, right? Or maybe I'm just going to hire a personal trainer, right? It's not an end result that you're going to beat yourself up over. You just call on the phone and you get a personal trainer, right? And then you go from there, right? Maybe you want to experience, you know, more joy in your relationships, or maybe you want to experience, you know, training with a new coach, or, you know, taking a workshop in another market, or, you know, whatever it is. It's not, you know, it doesn't have to be acting related. I think one of the things that I wrote down that I wanted to experience this year was to take horseback riding lessons, because I really wanted to. I've always ridden horses, you know, I've never had a horse, but I've always ridden horses. But I just kind of, I've learned here and there. I've never like been trained as an equestrian. So I bought some horseback riding lessons. Now, unfortunately, because of COVID, I kind of had to put that on hold. I can go now, and also the weather is cooler, so I can go now. But, you know, things like that. Like, I wanted to start embracing music again. You know, when I was a lot younger, I used to write music and, you know, play the piano and create compositions and, you know, do all these things. And I was like, okay, so I want to experience that again. So I bought some sheet music and I bought some voice lessons, right? So it's just like, what do you want to experience, right? What sort of feelings do you want to have? What sort of adventures do you want to pursue, that sort of thing? Because let me tell you, first of all, it gives you something to pull you into your future and to get you excited about taking action around your future. And also, it's not like a dull list of chores that, because you're not already doing them, you're somehow flawed or wrong or lazy or undisciplined or bad, or fill in the blank, whatever words you use to talk to yourself when you haven't done the thing that you set out to do. I hope this makes sense. Anyway, please, 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 I highly encourage you to take yourself through this exercise. It just kind of wraps things up, gives you a fresh perspective, and creates some space and a clearing for you to enjoy unexpected blessings in your new year. So, my friends, Happy New Year to you. I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me on these videos. And of course, I'm going to tell you, I suggest that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I suggest that you sign up for my email list, www.saragaston.com, and have a blessed, wonderful, interesting, engaging, exciting, adventurous, wonderful new year. You know what? I'm going to pause for a second because my contact is driving me insane. Hold on.